You know how I do. Man flicks through the internet, boxing news, see what's going on. Stumbled over this boxing scene article about what Brian Norman and Devin Haney plan to do next. We know that Brian Norman is with Top Rank, and Top Rank at the moment, their TV deal with ESPN is set to terminate. It's coming to an end. It's like a 4-year deal and it's coming to an end this year. I think it's like July or something. I'm going to speak about that in another video. But Devin Haney himself now, he had a stinker, didn't he? He had a terrible fight on the biggest stage boxing's ever had. Times Square in the middle of the street, supposed to put on a show. He put on a stinker of a fight which led to, I believe, Turkey Al-Sheikh talking about Tom and Jerry type fighting, because it was like a very much cat and mouse fight in there that he had with Jose Ramirez. So with that being said, he's in a bit of a hot spot. He's in a bit of a tight place because he's a promoter in his own right, isn't he? This is what he's on. DHP, Devin Haney Promotions. This is his thing. He went into conjunction with Eddie Hearn. He was partners with Eddie Hearn. That's what they were doing, a partnership. So Eddie Hearn was never his promoter per se. It was a partnership, a co-promotion. And when Eddie Hearn was like, "Nah, I don't want to partner you with this fight," whatever fight it was, he got in a tizwas, knickers in a twist, and started to go on Twitter and spit out all of this venom. But Turkey Al-Sheikh has come over and rescued the situation and put him in a spot where he can now make the money that he believes that he deserves. But having that stinker and now talking about Tom and Jerry, it's better you go and try to fight a guy like Brian Norman. It's better you go and fight him, to be fair. That's your fight that you need to have. It's an all-action fight. So what happened and what was said in this news article? Let's read. WBO welterweight champion Brian Norman Jr. has verbally agreed to fight two-division champion Devin Haney later this year, an industry official told Boxing Scene on Wednesday. The 24-year-old Norman, who is coming off a destructive 5th-round knockout of Jin Sasaki last week in Japan, has informed his promoter Top Rank that he wants to pursue the bout with Haney that is intended to be staged by Saudi Arabia boxing financier Turkey Al-Sheikh. Those connected to the proposed bout says that it is being targeted to occur in November at a site yet to be finalized. Georgia's Norman, unbeaten, 28 wins, 22 KOs, has expressed his desire for the bout to be fought at a standard 147-pound limit without a catchweight or next day weigh-in limit added. Haney, 32-0 with 15 knockouts, who is coming off a May the 2nd unanimous decision victory over former title holder Jose Ramirez in New York's Times Square, expressed interest in fighting Norman after attempts to stage bouts against recent welterweight champion Jaron Boots Ennis and current 140-pound champion Teofimo Lopez fell through in recent weeks. Haney's father/trainer/manager Bill Haney spoke to Boxing Scene about the Norman fight on Tuesday, saying the guy's team, talking about Brian Norman, the guy's team said you wanted more. That's to fight Ennis. Well, guess what? We know what your more is. And if you want that to fight Devin the Dream Haney, then you can get that next. In addition to his financial backing for the bout, Al-Sheikh's involvement might be necessary anyway, as Top Rank's current broadcast deal with ESPN expires on July the 26th. Al-Sheikh owns a minority stake in the zone. So it's looking kind of bleak for Brian Norman, because Top Rank don't look like they're staging any fights in the near future right now until they sort out their TV deal. And to be fair, when they were in business, they weren't staging any fights for him anyway. You know, they said the fight that he had to have, his first title defense, was in Japan and had to be promoted by the Japanese people then. You never see that? That's perfectly clear information that Top Rank aren't really and truly invested in Brian Norman's future as a champion. So you better go and sort it out with other promoters and other financiers, such as Turkey Al-Sheikh, and get this Devin fight, because Devin needs you as much as you need Devin. So you need each other. It's a match made in boxing heaven, per se. You know? And I've got my own opinion about this fight if it was to take place, which I'll break down if the fight gets announced. But this is the news that I'm seeing, and it's interesting to me. It's an intriguing situation. It's an intriguing fight between these two guys. Let's see if it can be made. Let's see if it can happen. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.